this a shot. This is question number 24 from your homework section 10.5. This is the one about watching the fireworks from the boat at the San Diego Bay. And the story problem tells us that the distance from the bay to the fireworks is 0.2 miles. The distance from your eyes to this water is 0.1 miles. And they tell me the distance, the radius of the Earth, assuming C is the center, so C to T would be 4,000, and they tell me T is tangent. That's how I know that that's a right angle. And they want me to find the measure of arc SB. So the key on this one is realizing that arc SB is ST plus TB. So if I find the measure of arc ST and I add it to the measure of arc BT, that's going to give me the measure of SB. And then I got to realize that ST is the arc with central angle FCT. So if I can find the measure of angle FCT, that will give me the measure of angle, of arc ST. What I have is a right triangle, and the distance from C to F, C to S is 4,000 because all of these are congruent. So the distance from C to F would be 4,000, which is the radius, plus 0.2 miles. And this is where the trig comes in, if you remember it. In order to find this angle measurement, this is a right triangle. I have sine, which is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine, which is adjacent over hypotenuse, and the tangent of an angle, which is opposite over adjacent. So I know adjacent side over the hypotenuse, so I'm going to use cosine. So the cosine of angle FCT is going to equal the adjacent, which is 4,000 over 4,000.2. And again, you may not remember this from Algebra 1. We'll be reviewing it next week. To figure out what the measure of the angle is, I have to go to my calculator and I have to do inverse cosine. I'm going to pause the video. So using my calculator, I do second cosine, type this in. You got to make sure your calculator's in degrees, and you're going to get 0.572945, but we're going to round it here. So a little over half of a mile is the measure of arc ST. Okay. So the measure of arc ST is 0.5729. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to do this again to find the measure of angle TCE. So I'm going to pause this and the measure of angle TCE will equal the measure of arc BT, and I have to follow the same process as I did before. The cosine of the angle that I want to find is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, and in this case it's 4,000 plus 0.1, so it's 4,000, oh I'm sorry, it's 0.01. 0.01. And then with my calculator, the measure of angle TCE, I have to go second cosine, and then I type this in, and I will get approximately 0.1281. So the measure of arc, what did I say? BT is approximately 0.1281, and when I add these two together, it will give me the measure that I'm trying to find, which is arc SB. So the measure of arc SB is approximately 0.5729 plus 0.1281, and that part I'm not going to do. Add those up and that will give you the answer. And round it to the nearest tenth when you're done.